I'm sorry. Were you looking for this? And Harvey's like, what do you want, Joker? He's like, oh, I've spent all evening going to so many homes. There's quite a few dents in Gotham City. Were you aware of that, Harvey? Oh, we had so much fun. But I came here, and I just wanted to ask you a couple of questions. Well, friends, after all. We're practically family.
Who is Holiday, and who's next?
And now I'm ready to talk about Batman, Chad, as I always am. Who's not ready to talk about Batman? I ask you. Everyone loves talking about Batman. There's never a wrong time to talk about Batman, Chad, and now we're doing it right here. See, your spa greet salutations to you. Hey, Chris. Hey, Chad. I saw the Batman today. Great movie. They'll have me grinning in the theater. And yeah, I saw the Long Halloween not too long ago. Nice, man. Did you see the kind of what they were referencing? The referencing to Batman, in the Batman from Batman Long Halloween. Sure, I don't want to spoil anything for the movie, but if you notice, if you read the Long Halloween, if you've seen this movie, you could see, I can see what they're doing here, which was pretty cool. I really dug that. Oh, we got a new patron in here too. Well, thank you, Brian K. Holman. Thank you so much for subscribing. $5. You get mic privileges and for the multiplayer shenanigans, which I hope you can join us for tonight. We're going to be playing probably Goose Goose Duck Game and maybe some Mario Kart. But yeah, you get all the audio video commentaries at that level and below, which is a lot, by the way. So thank you, Holman. That was very kind of you. Ooh. Blackstone, I feel that the Batman owes a lot to the Long Halloween. Definitely. Yes. Long Halloween, especially, and also Batman Year One. Since, both those stories deal with the mob and the Falcone crime family. Which John Turturro plays Carmine Falcone. It's interesting because I've always said Carmine Falcone, and in this one they call him, in the Long Halloween, they call him Falcone. But then also in the Batman, they call him Falcone and also Falcone. So they're going back and forth, Chad. I've always called him Falcone. It's like when Christopher Nolan, when he had Ra's al Ghul, he was calling him Ra's al Ghul. You got to have that H in there, Chad. What are you going to do? But, my friends, we're going to go ahead and get into this spoiler review today. Oh, excuse me. If you do a cartoon review tomorrow, I suggest Riddler's Revenge from the Batman TV show. It's Riddler origin episode, and since the Batman film is also Riddler origin story, would be a good time to review it. I actually, I did a Riddler episode not too long ago for, just one of my past reviews, and it was focused on the Riddler. Oh, but you're talking about the Batman. I get what you're saying, the Batman. Gotcha. Yeah, I'm doing the ones which I'm obligated to do, but who knows? Someday I could definitely do the Batman once I run out. I have such a backlog of Toon reviews, chat. It is thick, it is significant, it's robust, it's girthy, but we'll get to it one day. Serious Spock, the fact that I saw some of that coming was a bit of a downer during the Batman, but I know the most fans wouldn't be worried. Yeah, you got to go in mind with that in mind. Like, there is a reveal in the movie, and it's like, yeah, I know. It's, but as a Batman fan, you just, But I get what you're saying. Mm-hmm. For other people, it's like, oh, I didn't know that. Like, I even knew someone who said, I didn't know that was the thing. And I was like, yeah, so it's cool. Also, a tiny bit of Hush. Yeah, there's a little Hush in there, definitely. A little Hush. Even Riddler's design and aesthetic is very similar to Hush, so totally understand. You got it, dude. I've been thinking about joining in on the games. They look really fun. Just got done with them and teach myself how to play. Oh, no, take your time. As I always say, when it comes to multiplayer shenanigans, it's just, it's not competitive. We're just there to have fun, and, just kind of, cool off and relax. So join whenever you want to. We play a lot of multiplayer games that we've been playing recently. Among Us, Mario Kart. We were playing a lot of Halo, but I've taken a break from Halo. I know people still want to play Halo. Goose Goose Duck, definitely do that. I've been doing some Gary's Mod too. And thank you. I don't know if Cristando is here, but Cristando sent me some really cool suggestions for maps. So thank you again for that, Cristando. That was super kind of you. So we'll get to a lot of fun stuff in a bit, chat. But, my friends, now we're going to go ahead and review Batman The Long Halloween, chat. An adaptation of Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale's just a sensational comic book, chat. I mean, it's one of, if people were to ask me, chat, Chris, what Batman story should I read? I've never read Batman before. I've never read a Batman comic before. I mean, I would obviously suggest Batman Year One. I would suggest, The Dark Knight Returns. And I would also suggest Batman The Long Halloween. It's a good introduction to think a lot of Batman's rogues gallery. Obviously, Joker and Catwoman acts as an origin story for Two-Face, and there's a new villain in the Holiday Killer chat. Also, it's kind of like Batman. It's not exactly a sequel to Year One, but you can almost see it being something like that. It feels like it could be. Even the designs from the characters are like, okay, clearly you were influenced by like Batman Year One. So you can say it's like maybe like Batman's Year Two or Year Three or something like that. It's like, okay, like he's still trying to figure things out. He's already established these relationships with these villains and with Catwoman and everything. So definitely they're very similar to each other. So I definitely encourage people to read the graphic novel and even its sequel, Dark Victory. And they did another one, I think, called like Halloween. I think it was the Halloween special. I'm trying to remember what it was. I never really cared for that one, but Dark Victory is quite good, which introduces the character of Robin, Dick Grayson. But yeah, this is an adaptation, or at least part of an adaptation. It's part one. Again, the Long Halloween was so goddamn long, they had to split it into 2 parts, and I am reviewing the first part tonight, chat. Probably reviewing the second part sometime soon. If not this week, then definitely next week, because everyone's got that Batman on the mind, chat. The bats in the belfry, if you will. But before I continue on, I need to ask you guys a very important question. That question being, how many of you have seen the Batman, The Long Halloween? Very curious about that. This is a animated adaptation, chat. One of those direct to, VOD, one of them VOD animated DC films. Let's see here. This may be a hot take, but The Long Halloween Part 1 is better than Part 2. We'll talk about that in a bit. Let's see here. Anyone says I have not. Arcslayer, I only read the graphic novel. That's fine. That's cool, too. Lisa says, nope. See, Matt. Good to see you, by the way. As Jim Carrey Riddler once said, what kind of man has bats on the brain? Bruce Wayne. Ooh, indeed. Casfay, not yet. Holman, Cena. Sir Baby says, I have. Blackstone, I read the comic and saw the anime version. Oh, so you've covered your bases. You're prepared. Then you can keep me on task. Make sure if I mess anything up, which I most assuredly will, you'll keep me on them. You'll keep an eye on me. I have not. I only read the graphic novel. Valkyria saw when I signed up for HBO Max last year. That's right. Solid shares of Superman the Man. Yeah, so I read this today. In case you don't know. So it's cool. We got a good diverse crowd here, chat. I appreciate that. I like that. But this adaptation of Batman Long Halloween is set in a certain DC animated film universe where it's set in the same world as Superman, Man of Tomorrow, which I saw, and I like that one. That was one. Superman was fighting Parasite, and I think Lobo was in that as well. That was solid. And then this most recent one, chat, which I think came out like really late last year, called Justice Society World War II, where it has the Flash going back in the past, and well, obviously dealing with the with Wonder Woman and the original Black Canary and the OG Flash, and I think like Hawkman during World War II. I think this is all set in the same world. And correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just going by what Wikipedia is telling me, Chad. It says as a shared continuity, so a whole new DCAU, if you will. You let me know if it works for you, Chad. Alec, good to see you. I hope you're having a very nice evening. But yeah, Chad, like a lot of you guys, I too have read the original graphic novel, and I like the graphic novel quite a bit, especially for its artwork. I've always liked the artwork of Tim Sale. He did the sequel Dark Victory and also the Halloween special, and he also did Superman for All Seasons, which I recommend checking out too. It's another Superman origin story, and Lex Luthor in that graphic novel is very much a combination of Paul Giamatti and Donald Trump, which is a very weird take, but it's like, I guess I can get it. Yes. I'm sorry. I was reading a comment chat. I got to see Melman read your comment in just a bit, but thank you for saying me. I totally see what you're saying. I'll definitely message you back in a bit, but thank you. But yeah, no, I've always liked the comic for its artwork, and I like the story. Like I said, it's a good introduction to the characters. It has everybody across the board. I mean, Joker, Catwoman, Two-Face, Scarecrow, Mad Hatter, Riddler. Not that they're featured in part 1, but they're all in that original graphic novel. And the whole premise is that Batman is trying to track down this serial killer who seems to be murdering people connected to Carmine Falcone, Chad, the biggest mob boss in Gotham City. He's been in control of the city for damn near 30 years, for decades, Chad, and has had a relationship with Bruce's family, specifically his father, Thomas Wayne. And if you've seen the Batman, you can guess as to what that relationship was like, Chad. But as I said, it's a fantastic introduction to Batman for those who are not experienced with him and his supporting characters. Darkslayer, thanks so much for giving this up to Hamilton Burger. Again, absolute pleasure to have you here, Darkslayer. But now, chat, we're going to go ahead and get into the nitty-gritty details. Bruce Wayne is in the domain of Carmine Falcone, chat. Why would Bruce Wayne be visiting the Roman, as he's called? And the Roman has asked Bruce to visit him. He says, I need your help with something. Normally, I would have gone to your father, but as you can see, your father's not here. He's dead, Chad. Did you know that Batman's parents are dead? That Bruce Wayne's parents died? Thomas and Martha Wayne? Movie reminds you, just in case you didn't know. And I'm asking you, not as a friend of your father's. I'm asking you as a family member, Bruce. Can you help a guy out? Can you help out your Uncle Carmine? And Bruce, he's looking straight ahead. He's looking in the office. He's in the office of Carmine Falcone. He's looking right out this fucking beautiful looking window into the city of Gotham. He's like, Bruce, can't you believe in me? I have Gotham's best interests at heart. I'm trying to do what I need to do to make sure the city doesn't tear itself apart. You got these fucking loonies out there. You got this Batman vigilante messing everything up, causing all this escalation. Can you help me out, Bruce? And Bruce Wayne, he's just staring out the goddamn window. It's like, this guy's talking shit about me. I'm Batman. But he doesn't reveal that, Chad. He downplays that. And he turns to Carmine Falcone after looking out in the city. He says, Mr. Falcone, there is one thing that I believe in, and that is Gotham City. And I believe you don't have Gotham's best interests at heart. So even though you were indeed a friend of my father and my mother, I have to refuse your offer. And Carmine, he's, I have to admit, he takes it, hat in hand, Chad. He takes it hat in hand, he's like, all right, I understand you're your own man, and I respect you because you stood up to me, Bruce. You believe in Gotham City. Well, let's see how Gotham treats you. And we see this montage of everything that's going on in Gotham, chat. We see a montage of Batman fighting various rogues, if you will. Everyone from Oswald Cobblepot the Penguin, Jonathan Crane the Scarecrow, chat, and maybe even a clown prince of crime. We also see a young Selena Kyle, chat, as Catwoman, and overworked Jim Gordon trying to maintain the GCPD, but also his familial life at home, chat, with his wife and his very young children, Barbara Gordon and little Jimmy Jr., chat. And we're introduced to the new DA of Gotham City, since the last one's kind of dead, Harvey Dent, chat. And his mission is to finally eliminate the Roman, get him off the street and into Blackgate Prison, where he'll rot and die, hopefully, chat, and destroy one of Gotham's oldest crime families. And he's recently flipped one particular member of the crime family, chat. Good old Jim Vititi Boppity Boop. I don't know what his name is, but he's the nephew of Carmine Falcone, chat. And for now, for the sake of convenience, I shall call him Fatty McTubbs. It has been a name I've used for many characters across countless reviews, but he is very fat. And he is very tubby, chat. And he seems to be on the verge of flipping to Harvey Dent. He's already feeding him information about Carmine Falcone's organization. And this guy, he's like, I just want to be in my bathtub. I want to eat all my butter and just be left alone. And Harvey's like, I can give you the biggest bathtub and all the butter that you need, fatty. All right, I just need you to flip. He's like, okay. let me go soak in my tub, and I'll let you know. And so we follow good old Fatty McTubbs as he goes home, Chad. He goes home. He's a big boy, by the way. He strips naked. We see all of the flabby flesh of Fatty McTubbs, and he gets that hot water. You know, it's a simple apartment, too. It's not like, it's decent. It's a decent apartment. It's not shitty, a tenement, you know, Gotham apartment. It's good. It's like good, solid, maybe upper middle class apartment. It's nice. It's very nice. He gets in there, puts that hot water, and you know he's a big boy because as soon as he goes in, the water all comes over the tub, and he's just rested in there, Chad. And he's like, oh, he's stressed out. And then all of a sudden, Chad, this figure in an overcoat and fedora with a gun in their hands comes into his bathroom. He's like, no, my butter. And he shoots him. He gets shot once in the fucking eye, gives him that Mo Green special, Chad, boom, and a couple of times in the head and chest. And Fatty McTubbs is no more. It's like, oh my God, who could have done this? On Halloween night especially, Chad, come on. And right next to this gun, with by the way, on the barrel is a binky, chat. It's a little nipple like you put on a baby bottle. It's because they shot him. And I guess it doesn't really silence the weapon, but it doesn't have a meaning. And the killer puts it right next to a jack-o'-lantern, chat, a pumpkin. Speaking of which, we transition to Wayne Manor, where Alfred is laid out like a dozen pumpkins all over the front lawn. And he goes out there. He's got some candy bars, Choco Crisps. I was like, I want one of them. Those are big. I will say, Alfred did not skimp on the candy thing. Okay, well, you're rich. You better not do like those little fun-sized candies like some of these houses do. Like you are a representative of the Wayne family, okay? You can afford those jumbo candy bars, right? And he does. Those things look fucking big. But the thing is, though, Chad, he opens the door, and there's no trick-or-treaters out there. There's no one out there. He's like, shit. And he goes back in there, and Bruce, he's coming down. He's coming down with his nighttime now. He says he's going to go doing his patrols and stuff. And, you know, Bruce is like, Alfred, I don't know why you're doing this. We haven't had trick-or-treaters in years. And he's like, I know, Master Wayne, but we need to keep up appearances, okay? I mean, we just can't keep doing the same thing and being complete shut-ins. And Bruce is like, I don't even understand the holiday. Who would dress up and do something like this? And Alfred, being the sassy man, British man that he is, he's like, yes, sir, someone dressing up and trying to terrify people. It's very funny. It's very outlandish. Doesn't make any sense. And Bruce is like, hey, I see what you mean. And Alfred's like, listen, Bruce, and it's funny because he's like, you got to get out there. You got to maintain the facade. I also just got a call from a Miss Selena Kyle. She was just calling. She even told me that she was seeing if the number was even real. Are you going to go out with her? Are you going to marry her and make little Wayne babies? For the love of God, Bruce, just stop being the Dark Knight. And he's like, never, Alfred, never. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. He's like, do what you want, Bruce. Do what you want. But Bruce, he's like, I just hate Halloween, Alfred. Who would even love this holiday? It's so morbid. And then we cut, chat, and we are now at the home of James, good old Jimmy Gordon, chat. Recently just made police captain. Not yet commissioner, chat, but he's captain in the GCPD, and he's trying to wrangle his kids. He's got his little daughter, Barbara Gordon, looks to be, who knows, maybe like 8 years old. Definitely like under 10 or something. And then he's got little James Jr. Barbara, she's dressed up as a police officer like her dad. Little Jimmy, he's dressed up as a ghost, and he's chasing around playing tag, and they're excited to go out for trick-or-treating. And, Honey's like, okay, well, you guys got to be home soon. I want you to stay out too dark when it gets too dark. And she's like, don't worry, man. Barbara's like, don't worry, Mom. We're going to have fun. Yeah, I'm just glad Dad's here. And then James is like, okay, well, we're definitely going to go trick-or-treating, but we're going to take the squad car, okay? There's so many crazies out there, which is true. And, his wife's like, all right, well, that's fine. That's fine. And, but make sure to keep the kids safe. He's like, I always do, honey. I always do. Get off my back. And then he's looking at his daughter, and she's like looking at me. She's like, sir, and she's doing a little salute. And he's like, you know what? Look, this outfit gives her his badge, Shed, his captain detective badge. She's like, wow, Dad, this is so cool. Thanks. And he's like, no problem, kids. Let's get in the car. Who's gonna drive? And the mother's like, Jim. And he's like, I'm joking. I'm just kidding around. Come on, can't Jim Gordon joke? But then, Shed, they hear that ring-a-ding-ding on the telephone, and they're like, shit, he's gonna get called into work. Some poor fucking schmuck has got killed in Gotham City, and now Jim Gordon's got to go in the office. And he's like, well, no, it might be a wrong number or something, or prank call. You never know. It's Halloween. But he goes to the phone, and as soon as he's like, yeah, I'll be there in 5 minutes. They're like, ah! And he's like, listen, kids, I promise I'll make sure that I'll get home soon. It's just that I'm needed at work. These people need me. And Barbara just lays in the goddamn guilt. But we need you, Dad. I needed you. And she fucking throws down the badge and she runs upstairs. And he's like, oh. And he's so sad. By the way, Jim Gordon's familial life does not get better. It just gets worse, chat. Poor fucking schmuck. He's like, all right, I'll go home. And a bunch of sad kids. Jim Jr.'s just, he's will turn to a psychopath later on, chat. He's just staring at a wall or whatever. That lack of attention from his dad caused him to be a serial killer, chat. Check out Batman, the Black Mirror. You'll see what I'm talking about. But then, I'm like, we're not done, chat. We're not done. Because we got to complete the trifecta, if you will, the trio of this movie. And that is Harvey Dent, chat, the newest district attorney of Gotham City. He goes home too, chat. He goes home too. And he's like, Jim Gordon definitely lives in definitely a more poorer era where Harvey lives in kind of the suburbs of Gotham City, chat. And then Bruce obviously lives in that fucking opulent mansion by himself. I just love how they showed, it was a small thing. They showed like what their lives were like in each area, even aesthetically, what the neighborhood was like. I thought that was pretty cool. But we cut to Harvey Dent. All the lights off. Like, there's trick-or-treaters around, but it's only a few and far between. People in the suburbs don't want their kids trick-or-treating, even Gotham City, chat. No, thank you. But he goes inside, sees the big old bowl of candy right there. Like, looks like hardly any of it was given out, if any of it was given out. And then he's calling for his wife, Glenda. And he goes to the back porch, and she's there, and she's just smoking a fucking cigarette, drinking wine, chat. And she's got this 1,000-yard stare, just... And he's like, hey, honey. And she's like, oh. He's like, oh, I didn't mean to scare you. She's like, oh, yeah, sorry. I'm a little jumpy right now. And he goes, how are the trick-or-treating? And she's like, I just can't deal with that right now. Just the kids, the children. And he's like, oh, yeah, well, it's pretty relatively dead. Not a lot of parents want their kids trick-or-treating, even in the suburbs. Can you believe it? She goes, yes, those lucky mothers. Oh, and she's like, okay, well, I can't wait to have kids. Are you excited did you have many kids that came up to the door for trick-or-treating? She's like, what are you talking about? And he's like, I mean, like trick-or-treaters. He's like, oh, I thought you meant if I had children. He's like, no. All this will make sense later on, chat. Don't you worry. And he's like, well, listen, we could just kind of relax for tonight. She's like, yes, let's have an evening in. Let me play one of my favorite black and white movies. And he's like, that sounds fun. But all of a sudden, chat, they look up as he embraces his wife, Glenda, who's a little fucking weird. He looks up in the sky, and what do we see, chat? The bat signal. And he's like, I'm sorry, honey. Get the movie ready. Get the popcorn ready. I'll be back in a bit. Daddy's got to go to work, chap. Oh, Pop Culture Podcast. A pleasure to have you here. Just got home from work. We'll sit back, relax, and I'm going to entertain you, serenade you, and perhaps even woo you. It'll be fun. But it's like, okay, so we got a sense of like everybody's life, if you will, chat, in Gotham City. We then cut to the top of the GCP building where, of course, Jim Gordon has activated the bat signal. Harvey Dent arrives, chat, and he goes, will he be here, Jim? He's like, he'll be here. And then who shows up? Batman. Batman shows up, and he's like, why do you need me? And apparently... Jim Gordon wants to reveal to them that Fatty McTubbs, chat, good old Jimmy Boppity Boops, he got in his bathtub, and Harvey just fucking freaks. He's like, no. He's like, what are you so mad, Harvey? I was flipping him. I was getting him on our side. He was going to reveal everything about Carmine Falcone, okay? We would have been able to put him in bars and all of his various associates and lieutenants and mafiosos. And Batman's like, what happened? And he's like, I have the pictures right here. He was shot to death in his bathtub. Here's the pictures. It was a gun. It was wrapped in like the cellophane wrap, and the number was filed off. And for what odd reason, it has one of them nips, has one of those little baby bottle nipples on it. And it's like, I mean, I guess it's effective. It'll silence the shot, but only once. And Batman's like, what about the jack-o'-lantern in the shot? Do you have the jack-o'-lantern? And he goes, yeah, we have it. Do you think that's significant? And he goes, I don't know yet, but I want to take a look at it, okay? And this is the thing. Their whole thing is like, listen, we need to work together. Jim Gordon's like, listen, I can only do so much within my position here. Harvey, he's doing everything at the DA's office, but I really want you two on this, okay? I'm going to look the other... Jim's like kind of a little corrupt. He's like, I'm going to look the other way. You guys can bend the rules as much as possible, but just don't break them, okay? But I want us all to be on the same page so we can take down the Roman. And the thing is, Harvey Dent's like, don't refer to him as the Roman. He's not some mythical figure. He's just a man, and a man can be defeated. It's like, okay, I got it, Harvey, I got it. But can you two work together? Batman looks at Harvey. Harvey looks at Batman. They go, yes, we can work together. And like Harvey's about to ask a question of Batman, and then boom, fucking Batman. He's gone. He's like, he pulled a Batman chat. And, you know, Jim's like, he does that. he fucking does it, as you know. And he's like, I remember the first time when he did that to me. Harvey, oh, he's gone too. Now I'm just up here talking by myself, which I thought was funny. Even Harvey pulled a Batman, which I really liked. Am I pitching a Batman sequel? Oh, no, this is a review. This is a spoiler review. This is a scene by scene breakdown for Batman and the Long Halloween Part 1, an animated adaptation of Batman and the Long Halloween by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale. Well, chat, after that, we cut back to good old Carmine Falcone. He's having a meeting. We have this guy, he looks like Wario. He looks like literally, chat, like you have this one guy who looks like he's about 4'5", walks in with this beautiful woman, chat. She sits in with all these mourners, sits next to the mother of Fatty McTubbs. And she's like, oh, he was so tubby. He loved his butter. And he goes in, and we see that the Don, he's having his meeting. This little Wario Mario, he goes over and he's like, my condolence to you, Godfather. I'm so sorry for the passing of one Fatty McTubbs. He's like, yeah, I appreciate you. I appreciate what you're saying. Thank you so much. Take a seat. It's always good to have you. He's like, thank you, Godfather. They sit down. And then we get this one guy who is just freaking out all the time. I'm just going to call him Jabroni. I think his name is Antonio Jabroni, chat. Antonio Jabroni is like, well, we just going to all sit here like a couple of fucking schmucks, or we going to take care of business? They fucking whacked Fatty McTubbs, okay, in his own fucking bathroom. But Godfather, no, he doesn't even call him Godfather. He says, Carmine, what are we doing here? He's like, what do you mean? What do you mean? We're discussing this right now. We're having this meeting about the passing of my late great nephew. He goes, that's what I'm saying. We know who did it. He's like, do you have some information you wish to reveal? He's like, he's obviously Sal Maroni. He's hit our people, in the daylight before. Who's to say he's not doing it now? He's like, well, the circumstances of Fatty McTubbs' death was not like the circumstances of when Sal Maroni hit our guys in fucking broad daylight. So how the fuck do you know that he was killed by Sal Maroni? He's like, I'm just saying, listen, I'm telling you, he's making you look like an asshole. He's making you look like a fucking asshole. That's all I'm saying. No disrespect. I love that he's like, no disrespect for you. He's like, oh, no disrespect for me, huh? You call me a fucking asshole in front of all my fucking friends, in front of the family? He's like, come on. I mean, and then the one bodyguard, this bodyguard is like the MVP, because he's like, his name is fucking Godfather. He's Godfather to you. And Carmine's like, go take care of a friend over there. Go take care of Antonio Jabroni. And the bodyguard walks up, and he's like, and good old Antonio Jabroni. She's like, I didn't mean any disrespect. I apologize, Carmine. He's like, I know you do. I know you do. And the bodyguard just grabs him and drags him out of the room and throws him down like this staircase. But it's like, the staircase is like 15 stories. And he hits the ground so hard, Chad, he literally explodes. And he's like, to the other members of my family right here, I apologize for the words used by Anthony Jabroni. He will no longer be a problem. They're like, thank you, Godfather. I didn't like him either. He was an asshole. And he's like, all right, guys, let's get down to talking business. Alberto, you got to leave the room. But Alberto is his son, Chad, his son. He's working on his little crossword puzzle and thing. And he's, ow! Oh, Alberto, I'm talking to you. He's like, oh, sorry, Dad. Sorry. Voiced by Jack Quaid, by the way. And he's like, look at you. We're talking business right now, okay? You got to leave the room. He's like, of course. He's like, take your puzzles, take your puzzle picture book, and get out of here. Get the fuck out of here. And he's like, Dad, it's mind puzzles. And he's like, Jesus fucking Christ, this kid. I can't believe it. Guy's going 32 years old, going on 13. The hell's the matter with you? And everyone's like, he's a fucking loser of his crosswords. Everyone's laughing at him. And he's like, go take care of the women, all the crying broads outside. Alberto, it's all you're fucking good for. And so he does. He's like, I hate you, Dad. No name woman. Lily, thank you for the 200 biddies. An absolute pleasure to have you here. I hope you're doing very well. Heart is indeed a pitter-patter in chat. Thank you, knowing one. Thank you. Well, after that, we then cut to Catwoman. Catwoman is running across the rooftops, and she's being pursued by Batman. Also, I want to mention on Catwoman, Selena Kyle in this movie, voiced by, let me go ahead, Naya Rivera, chat, who was a very young actor, very young actress. She was, she was super young. I think she, 833, suddenly died. This is one of her last roles, apparently, before she passed away, chat. So just want to give her a shout out. I don't know the circumstances of how she died, but I think it was she might have drowned, sadly. I think it was that. I think she drowned sometime in the summer of 2020. So I don't know any additional circumstances, chat. But I will say she does a very good job voicing Selena Kyle Catwoman here, chat. She nails it. She nails it, in my opinion. But anyway, where we see. Oh, thank you, by the way. Who else? Did someone else come in here? And oh no, thank you again, no anyone for the 200 biddies. Just making sure. But anyway, yes, Catwoman, she's running across the rooftops, doing her fucking thing, chat, kicking ass, taking names, all that. And Batman, he's in hot he's in hot pursuit, chat, of that pussy. No, of Catwoman, of course, chat. You know, Batman doesn't go down. He's not that kind of person, apparently, or allegedly been told. But he's chasing after her, and he just can't keep up with Catwoman, chat. Because when she makes this fucking leap, over this building, and she just sticks out her hip like this, just waiting for him. It's like, come on, Bats. Follow me. He's like, okay. And he jumps, and he just fucking, he has to tuck and tumble. He falls down the ground, and she's like, you know, the reason why you struggle with that jump is because you got too much equipment on you. He's like, why are you making me chase you? Because it's fun. I like that she goes, because it's fun. And then she keeps running. He continues to chase after her. But it's like she didn't like do anything illegal yet. They're just like, this is just their romance chat. They're just wooing one another. And so she jumps across to this construction yard, cuts this rope, shoots up. Batman's like, fuck this. I'm going to use my grappling hook. Uses grappling hook, gets on top of the clock. And they're like, he's looking down her. She's looking up at him. And he's like, you know, you're pretty good at following. Here, let's just go this way, and I'll show you what it's all about. And so she takes him down in this one area, and they start smooching, chat, as you'd expect. And he's like, all right, enough of that. This is why we're here. And it's Carmine Falcone's warehouse shed, this secret warehouse no one's ever been able to find before. It's like, oh, what's this? And so they go inside the warehouse shed, and what's in the warehouse? About $1 billion of cash, chat. Dirty fucking money. Catwoman, she's just Scrooge McDuck, just dives in. The big old pile of money is just to me. Have you seen anything as beautiful as this? Crisp, clean, green Batman. He's like, this is dirty money. And like he said, the Roman has been struggling to launder this money for quite some time because of all these fucking crazies around. And he's been just keeping it in particular warehouses, and this is apparently the biggest. And she's like, he's like, oh, you know, what are you gonna do? Why did you show me this, Catwoman? And she's like, I have my reasons, but I'm not gonna share them with you right now. And he's like, well, you'll have to share it with us soon enough. She's like, what do you mean us? And they're like smooching too during the scene. And then who walks out of the darkness, Chad? Harvey goddamn Dent. And she's like, get down, Batman, I'll take him out. And she yeets herself at Harvey Dent, Chad, and she's on top of him. He's like, whoa, take it easy, sweetheart. And you know, but Batman's like, he's with me, he's the new DA. And she's like, meow, she doesn't like him. And Harvey walks up to the big old money. So this is the warehouse that we've been looking for forever. This money, I mean, my God. There's so much, and he even picks up like this big thick wad of cash, about like $50K right there. That's his fucking salary, like within his hand. You know, if we were different men, I mean, we could just take this. And Batman says we're not. And Harvey's like, oh yeah, of course, I would never take all this money. Deadpool, good to see you. Heroes always go down because that's what heroes do. That's what they should have done. That's what Batman should do. But hey, Chad, we learned DC Warner Brothers like Batman doesn't do that. He doesn't like to sexually please women, apparently. But then Harvey Dent's like, well, we can't take the money. We can't report it to Gordon because Carmine Falcone be able to collect this the very next day. He has all the lawyers. He has all the judges. He has all the juries in his fucking pocket. It wouldn't work. And Catwoman's like, just burn it. And she just throws a match at Harvey Dent. And he's like, it was like, what do you got against the Roman or Carmine Falcone? What is this all about? And she's like, I will not reveal my reasons until the Long Halloween Part 2. And they're like, that's fair. You want to, leave people in anticipation. She's like, all right, I'll see you guys later. Batman. He's like, yeah, look at how cute my butt is. And she does this whole move where she very much shows off her nice tookus chat. And it's a very nice butt. And she escapes. And Harvey Dent's like, God damn, you're a lucky guy. My wife is constantly has that 1,000-yard stare, and is constantly smoking and drinking all the time. Jesus Christ. It's like I'm going home to a fucking car on its last legs. The exhaust coming out of here. Woo, Batman. But how do we do this? Like, I don't know. I'm trying to lead that virtuous life of the district attorney of Gotham City, but I'm constantly caught in the middle of these kind of things where maybe sometimes breaking the law or bending the law is the right path. And Batman's like, ooh. And he picks up a coin. Apparently there was like a pile of coins, chat. And he says, hey, why don't we do this? Why don't you flip a coin, Harvey? And Harvey's like, that's a fantastic idea, Batman. I will do just that. And he takes the coin and he's like, heads, report the money. Tails, we burn it to the motherfucking ground, Pookie. And he's like, cool. And so Harvey, he flips that coin. Then we cut, and the whole fucking warehouse is on fire. Fucking Harvey and Batman just like, we used a little too much kerosene. Let's get the hell out of here. And they run away. After that, we then cut to Harvey Dent walking back home. He's walking back. No, he gets in his car, he parks his car, getting out of his car, and goes into his house. And then we see this one vehicle suddenly just depart as soon as Harvey walks in. What does that have to do with anything, Chad? Oh, you shall soon see. He goes inside. Glenda, is she not there? He's like, Glenda. And he goes outside, and what do you think she's doing? Fucking smoking cigarettes, drinking wine, smelling like a very dirty garage, like a gas. She's like a gas station hatch. You don't make sure there's not an open flame near her. She'll go up in a second, and she's just in the swing set, just kind of like, just looking. He's like, hey. How are you doing? And she's like, and this is like all the same night, by the way. This is still like Halloween. And she's like, oh, I felt really lonely when you left. He's like, hey, we can go still watch that movie. He's like, did you guys start that fire? Was that you? Did you do that, Harvey? And he's like, listen, Glenda, I'm trying to do what was necessary to protect this city. Sometimes you got to bend the rules. He's like, Harvey, you're a DA. You're a lawyer. I mean, how does that sit with you? He's like, I understand that, but the circumstances have changed, okay? Also, I want to have babies with you. And she's like, I can't have babies, not after what happened. And he's like, can you be more specific? She goes, no, let's go watch a black and white movie. Lift me up. I've had too many cigarettes and I've had way too much wine. He's like, sounds good to me. And he carries her chatty. She's like, but she's filled with wine, so she's all bleh. And he's walking towards the house, and then they're like, oh, don't worry, honey. Everything's gonna work out. Boom! And the whole house fucking explodes, and all the flames start coming on good old Harvey Dent and good old Glenda. He's like, oh! And it's like, oh, is this the birth of Two-Face, chat? We'll see. After that, we cut, and it is now Thanksgiving, chat. It's like a month later. We're now at Thanksgiving, and Batman is following the same car that was parked outside of Harvey Dent's residence, chat, because Batman thinks the guys in that car had something to do with the bombing of Harvey Dent's house. Gordon is behind Batman. The cops are like, should we pull over Batman? He's like, no, man, we'll let him do his thing. We'll just be a good distance away, because we know Batman, when he's in traffic, chat, a lot of people die. Eventually, Batman, he fucking runs those guys off the road. I'm sure there were very minimal casualties. And it's these members of the Triad, chat, in downtown. It's like Chinatown and Gotham. And try to get back to Chinatown. Batman ran him off the road, and he's fighting this one guy who looks. I mean, he's Bruce Lee. He's supposed to be Bruce Lee, chat. He's also backed up by who was the guy in Jackie Chan Adventures who initially was a villain, and in that first season, but then because he almost died and his friends, his fellow villainous henchman friends, like left him to die. He had Toru. That's it, Toru, and he became like a good guy. Really like that. There's all Toru's here, he's here, and there's another guy as well. And Batman's like, I will beat the shit out of all of you. And Batman does a pretty goddamn good job. He beats the shit out of all of them. He's fighting not Bruce Lee, and at one point he throws a battering into Bruce Lee's knee and twists it. And he goes, ah! He's like, I thought you didn't hurt people. You heard wrong. Punch, punch, punch. Where were you the night of Harvey Dent's the bombing of his house? And he's like, I don't know. It was Halloween. I was eating candy. Punch, punch, punch. Wrong answer. Did you bomb Harvey Dent's house? Why would you think that was me? Maybe I was just passing by the house. I love those suburbs. So nice, so wholesome. Easy pickings. Punch, punch, punch. And then Batman's like, tell me right now or you'll never walk again. He's like, oh, don't you worry. I'll be walking away from this. You won't be Batman. And we see Toru has gotten back up. He's got like a giant fucking bow staff or something. There's another guy. He's got spinning blades of death. It's like, holy shit, how's Batman gonna fight all these guys and shit? Well, Catwoman arrives. He's like, I got you too, Batman. Let's fucking fight them all. And they start fighting them all, chat, and they beat him. Catwoman kicks Toru's ass. She does a really goddamn good job. But then we see not Bruce Lee. He's running away. And she's like, don't worry, I'll handle these guys. You take care of it. He's like, why are you involved with this, Catwoman? She says, again, I can't reveal that until The Long Halloween Part 2. Fair enough. He just wanted to see if he can get any information from her. And he chases after not Bruce Lee. And he makes sure he can't fucking walk again. He hits that other knee with another batarang. Ah! And it's like, I'm going to go take you to Jim Gordon. Actually, no, that's not what happens. That's the thing, because what happens is he falls and then he crawls into a sewer. He crawls in the sewer, and Batman's like, you shouldn't go down in that sewer. And he's like, why not? Because there's things down here no man is meant to see. And it's like, fuck you, Batman. I'll do what I want. He runs, and all he hears is the last thing fucking good old not Bruce Lee hears is Solomon Grundy, born on a Monday. And fucking Solomon Grundy grabs this guy and just starts slamming him into the wall. Batman's like, Solomon, no, stop it. And he's like, listen, I promise you, if you just let him go, he won't come down in here to bother you again, okay? You can be left alone. He's like, okay. And he gives him back, but he's like really fucked up at this point. He's super fucked up. And, then Solomon Grundy, and Batman's like, thank you, Solomon. He's like, Solomon Grundy, born on a Monday. And Batman leaves. Eventually, we then cut to the hospital chat where we see Glenda sitting next to the bedside of Harvey Dent, and half of his face is in shadow. Ooh. This nurse comes in, and she's like, oh, hello, Miss Dent. We have some more flowers today. And Glenda's like, ooh, wow, people really seem to care about Harvey. She goes, yes. Actually, this, and it's like this giant bouquet of roses, this huge basket of roses. And she's like, oh, actually, this is addressed to you from Mr. Falcone. And Glenda's like, him. And he's like, ooh, what's that have to do? And she's like, oh, I'm sure, that whoever this is cares. She's like, how do you know what he thinks? She goes, I don't know. It's a lot of flowers. She goes, yes, I'm sure. We then cut back to good old, not Bruce Lee. Good old, his name is like Nicky something. And but his design is clearly Bruce Lee. But they go back, and we see Nicky comes to, and he's in the offices of James Gordon. And, Gordon's like, all right, Batman, so we're going to play, good cop, bad cop, okay? I'll be good cop, you be bad cop. And Batman's like, I'll be fucking Batman, how about that? And he continues to beat the shit out of Nicky. He's like, we're not going to get any information out of him. You keep hurting him. Stop doing that. But Nicky's not revealing, good old not Bruce Lee is revealing nothing about the bombing on Den's place, but they're pretty sure he and his crew were the ones that were behind it, chat, a month ago. They're pretty upset about it. And so Jim's like, all right, I got to get Renee Montoya. Oh, Renee Montoya's here. Renee, Detective Montoya, can you get Nikki, process him? And she's like, all right, you need any help with him? He's like, I got it. And then even James Gordon, he starts chastising Batman. He says, listen, don't you gotta be a better detective, okay? You can't just be bad cop. He's like, I'm bad cop. I get it. But you gotta be a better detective about this. There's a way to interrogate these people. Sometimes it's better to use the carrot than the stick. He's like, Batman's like, I use my fists. I don't need no fucking stick. It's a Listen, I just, I'm going to go home, okay? My wife, she's making turkey with all the fixings, and I need this. So just you go home and to your people and you enjoy yourself. And Batman's already gone. He's like, all right, I'm just standing here talking to myself again. Asshole, Batman, asshole. We then cut back to the hospital where we see Glenda Dent. She's just leaving. She's like, looking like, all sad and stuff. And then the nurse comes in. She goes, oh, Mr. Dent, I'm sure your wife's going to come back and get you some proper turkey and mashed potatoes and stuffing and pumpkin pie. But I do have some of this hospital Thanksgiving food. It's not bad. But Harvey's gone, Chad. He's gone. And it's like, oh, no. Where did Harvey Dent go, Chad? His window's open. It's like he's on the 15th floor. Where the hell did he go? We then cut you, and we're with Carmine Falcone. He's preparing his own Thanksgiving meal, and it's filled with all of the stereotypical Italian things, chat. You got your tomato sauce, you got your bruschetta, you got your Italian sausage, you got your pasta, but he's got to make that sauce shit. You got to make that sauce. He's using 2 cans of tomato. He's using 3 little onions, chat. Got to put the veal in there. You got to put the pork in there. You got to get the beef in there. Boom, you got a little red pepper for the flavor. And he's chopping up, and he's got his son right there. He's got his bodyguard right there. And he says, listen, Alberto, listen, this time of the year, you got to care about family. It's the thing I care about most. And Alberto's like, sure, Dad, sure. And Carmine's like trying to keep himself under control. He's like, I can see you got a little bit of an attitude with me right here. Okay, that's fine. But I'm trying to instill this in you, Alberto. You got to care about family, all right? There's a lot to appreciate. Why do we have a lot to appreciate? He's like, we got a health, okay? Well, business, it's gone through some hardships, gone through some hard times, but it's stable right now. There's not been any more of these killings. It was a fucking tragedy what happened to Fatty McDubs. But I'm trying to tell you, okay, that you got to appreciate what you have. And Alberto's like, at one time I did appreciate what I had, Dad. He's like, hey, don't be bringing it up in front of me, okay? You didn't know what you were getting involved in there, okay? I tried to set you straight. I might have been a little rough with you, but it was all out of love, Alberto. It was all out of love. And he's like, oh, you've always questioned my decision-making, Dad. And he's like, because you can't fucking think for yourself. You went to Oxford, and you come over with this hoity-toity English stuff. I don't understand the hell you're saying half the time. Listen to me. Listen to your dad. And he's like, well, I can make my own decisions, okay? I want respect here. I want respect. And I can do things, and I did something tonight. And he's like, what do you do? What do you do? And it's like, well, I bet you think probably sending flowers to Harvey Dent's hospital room was bad. I think that'll throw the police off our trail. And Carmine Falcone fucking flips out. He's like, the fuck did you do? What did you do? And he starts choking me. He's like, you don't speak for the family, Alberto, okay? You think you're gonna be the successor? You think you're gonna come in and take over the fucking family business? Are you out of your fucking mind? That ain't gonna happen. He throws him across the room. I'd rather die than see you take over what we got here. Don't ever speak for the family. I'm going to go chop peppers. And he starts chopping peppers. And Alberto just goes to the fetal position going, ooh, he's so sad. And Naya, brownie, wowie, hard hands, Naya. Pleasure to have you here. Thank you so much, by the way, for the very generous temperatures. Vin Diesel voice, did someone just say family? I acknowledge you. I was doing a bit. I was in the middle of my Carmine Alberto conversation. I had to do it, Naya. I didn't mean to ignore you. But an absolute pleasure to have you here. Actually, I'm going to take a moment to take a sip of this water. But after that, Jim Gordon. We then cut to, oh yeah, no, Catwoman. Catwoman, by the way, has been listening to this entire conversation right outside of the window, Tat. She's got like some audio technology, and she's listening, and she smiles, but she looks sad at the same time, and she runs off. I wonder what's going on. And then she stops, and she looks out the side of the building, and she's like, is that Harvey Dent butt-ass naked? And we have Harvey Dent just shirt-cocking it right down there, chat, just like looking at the Romans, opulent fucking penthouse apartment, chat, just out there. Jim Gordon's like, is that fucking Harvey Dent butt-ass naked on the sidewalk? He stops the car, he goes, hey, Harvey, how you doing? And Harvey's like, oh, I'm doing great, Jim. I'm doing real good. And he turns around, and his face is fine. He's not Two-Face yet, Shay. It was a little bit of a fake out because they only showed half his face. He's got like a little black eye. He's got a couple of scratchies and maybe a bruise. But he's okay. He's okay. Sure cocking again. It's return. It's an art, baby. It's an art. And he's like, Harvey, shouldn't you be at the hospital? He's like, I'm where exactly what I want to be. And Jim's like, okay. And he's like, Harvey's in his gown. Ass in the breeze, a little chilly. It's fucking November in Gotham. It's gonna be fucking cold. And he's like, well, hey, listen, I'm going home, gonna have some turkey and the fixin'. I love the fixins, you know me, with the wife and the kids. We would be happy to have. He's like, no, I'm fine. I'm not hungry. I'm just gonna stand out here like all night. And he's like, yep. And he's like, okay. Hey, do you want my gun? And I'm like, Jim, what are you doing? And like, I don't know why Jim Gordon does this. Actually, we do know why. He's like, Harvey, I know you weren't able to get a gun, but take this. You need protection. And Harvey's like, oh. Thank you, Jim. And it's like, don't tell anyone that I gave that to you. That was very stupid of Jim Gordon to do. Why are you giving this guy a gun? This guy who's just sure-cocky in the middle of November, chat. By the way, Harvey Dent not rocking much, but it is cold outside, so whatever. And he's like, well, Harvey, I'll see you later. And he goes, yeah, I'm going to get going back to the hospital. I'm sure Glenda's back by now. He goes, sure. Eventually we cut. And we see, everyone's having dinners. Everyone's having a wonderful dinner. We see Carmine Falcone. He's there with his family. And he's like, salute everybody. Happy Thanksgiving to you. And like, hey, and they're all drinking. We then cut to the Bruce Wayne's manor. We cut to Wayne Manor, chat, where we see Alfred. He's making a turkey right now, coming out of the oven. Selena Kyle's there. She's staying over there, Chad. Her and Bruce have been seeing each other for the past, month and a half. And she, goes to taste the turkey, and Alfred slaps her hand. She goes, oh, Alfred, you're still sassy. He goes, I know, dear. Ooh. But then they notice, half, part of the turkey's missing, a wing and one of the drumsticks, and that's weird. And then we cut down to the sewer system, Chad, where there's a big old plate of food. You got some ham on there. You got some slices of ham. You got some turkey. You got some corn. You got some mashed potatoes. And Solomon Grundy's like, Solomon Grundy, poor Nana. And he smells it, and he sees it and goes, ugh, and he's just happy. He eats it, and Batman watches him. He's like, I'm glad I made Solomon Grundy happy. We then also cut to sad Jim Gordon, chat. He goes home, and all the lights are off, and the kids are in bed, and his wife's in bed, and it's just this sad, shitty plate of Thanksgiving food, completely wrapped in cellophane, and he's like, oh. And then we cut to the Triad chat, not Bruce Lee, Nicky, whatever the hell his name is. He just got out, and he's like, oh, look who it is. But I will say a lot of them have a really stereotypical Asian accent. I'm like, ooh, I don't know about that. I hope they were all voiced by Asian people, because I'm like, ooh, I don't know about that. But he's there, and everyone's like, hey, let's have some fucking dumplings. And they're having dumplings, chat, and orange chicken. And, all of a sudden, who do we see coming into the Chinese food restaurant, chat? The holiday killer with the gun, with the fucking binky on top. Boom, 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 and kills all those Triad gang members dead, chat. Another murder, another holiday killing, this time on Thanksgiving, chat. What the hell is going on here? Then we cut to Arkham Asylum, because Batman and Jim Gordon, they're at their ends wits. They don't know what's going on. They don't know who's doing all these killings, but they need to figure this out. It's now Christmas Eve, chat, and they've made no progress in the holiday killer case. And so we pass by all these various cells. We see Oswald Cobblepot very much looking like Danny DeVito from Batman Returns. We pass by the cell of one Dr. Jonathan Crane, now the Scarecrow. We see Jervis Tetch just fucking jerking off because he's a pedophile. And we pass by some other cells too. Until they're finally at the cell of one Julian Day, chat, the serial killer and criminal known as Calendar Man. And they're asking him because, well, it's one, okay, in order to get into the mind of a killer who seems to be killing on holidays, let's talk to the guy whose whole shtick is that. And I like Calendar Man in general. Very cool, underrated villain. I love how he functions in the original graphic novel and here, voiced by David Dashmishkamalaka. Who also who has played Polka Dot Man in the Suicide Squad. He does a good job, and he's very effeminate here. And we're like, fucking Batman's like, Counterman! And Counterman's like, yes. And he's like, why is the holiday killer killing on holidays? And well, for Counterman's like, first of all, it's fucking great. You gotta have a theme, right? And he goes, yeah, but who do you think did it? Is it you? He's like, I've literally been here the entire time when I was put behind bars by Harvey Dent. Also, we hear that originally Batman wanted to lock up all these guys in Blackgate, but Harvey Dent was adamant about putting them in Arkham because they needed psychiatric help. And Batman said, in hindsight, he was right. They do need psychiatric help. So that was kind of cool that we learned that Harvey Dent was the one that worked side by side with Jim Gordon and Batman to put away some of Batman's most notable rogues. And a lot of them, for the most part, have been in Arkham for the past year because, they were running amok beforehand. And Julian Day's like, well, who could you, so you're coming to me, you think that I might know who the suspect is. And he's like, well, it could be, could be a lot of people. Maybe it's Sal Maroni, Carmine Falcone's, rival. And they're like, yeah, possibly. Or it could be someone else. Maybe it could even be Harvey Dent, your beloved district attorney. He has enough motivation to do all these killings, connecting all these people. All these people have previously been associated with the Roman. Wouldn't that make sense, Batman? Batman's like, it can't be Harvey. I like Harvey. He's like, listen, man, I know you might like him, but, I mean, wouldn't that be such a joke if he was the one behind all this? And Batman's like, what do you mean by a joke? He says, I don't know. I thought it would be funny, tee-hee-hee. And Batman's like, ah, shit! And he immediately runs to the Joker's cell. And he's like, open up the goddamn cell. And the guard's like, I don't know if you should do that. And he punches the fuck out of the guard. He grabs the keys, opens the cell, and the fucking cell is just stinking. It's like the Joker's just been shitting and pissing this all over himself in the cell the entire time. And he throws over the blanket, chat. And apparently, the Joker has managed to make a fake body made out of pork chops and Salisbury steak, and it's like just rotting. And he's like, God damn it, Joker. And the guard's like, he said he would kill my family. He said he would kill all of them. And Batman's like, oh, God, Jim, put out a fucking call. The Joker's on the loose. And it's like, that's not good. And then, chat, we cut to a home where the Joker is decorating a Christmas tree. Jingle bells, Batman smells, Robin laid an egg, the Batmobile lost the wheel, and the Joker got away. Oh, I love that one. And he's like putting all these skull ornaments and like skull candy canes on this tree. And he's like, oh, what a wonderful occasion. And I can't wait to celebrate with the family. And then we hear like a door opening, Chad. Door opens, and who walks in? It's Harvey Dent. We're like, oh, shit. This is Harvey and Glenda's new home. And then, Harvey's like, Glenda, are you here? Are you here? And Joker's like, he's like laughing. And he goes in the living room, and Joker's like, surprise, Harvey. So good to see you again. Joker, get the fuck out of my house. He's like, oh, but your wife was so hospitable. Why would I ever do that? And Harvey, he like, where have you doing to my wife? Where is she? And he freaks out, and he goes, oh, shit. Fucking goddamn Amber Alert scared the hell out of me, Chad. Woo! Scared the hell out of me. Sorry about that. Oh, my Lord. Doesn't scare me much as Harvey Dent seeing the Joker. All right. There you go. Anyway, but Harvey, he's like, oh, and he goes over to the cupboard shed, opens it up, opens this drawer, and is going for the gun that Jim Gordon gave him on Thanksgiving, but the gun is gone. Chick is like, oh, I'm sorry. Were you looking for this? And Harvey's like, what do you want, Joker? He's like, oh, I've spent all evening going to so many homes. There's quite a few dents in Gotham City. Were you aware of that, Harvey? Oh, we had so much fun. But I came here, and I just wanted to ask you a couple of questions. Well, friends, after all. We're practically family. And he's like, what do you possibly want from me? And Joker's like, first of all, don't talk back to me! And slaps him, Chad, hits him on the side of the fucking face. It's unbecoming, Harvey. I want to know about this holiday killer. Who are they? What have they been doing? I'm the only mass murdering maniac this town deserves. And Harvey's like, I have no idea, okay? Now get the fuck out of my house. And Harvey starts hitting Harvey flips the Joker over and starts Harvey loses it. He was like, get out of my house. And he starts wailing on the Joker, and the Joker just hits Harvey right in the fucking balls. But during the scuffle, the gun gets knocked out of the Joker's hand. Harvey goes for it. Joker's like, and Joker pulls out another gun, and it's the same gun that the Holiday Killer's been using, and it has that binky on it. And Harvey's like, where did you get that? What is that? And he's like, oh, I just happened to find it. Isn't this the same gun that's been used in all the holiday killings? So funny that I've managed to find it, Harvey. And he's like, well, I know nothing about all these holiday killings, Joker. Get the fuck out of my house. And he goes like, oh, fair enough. Well, I guess I'll go visit the Roman. Maybe Carmine Falcone knows about this individual. And he just hits the shit out of Harvey. Eventually, Harvey blacks out. And we then cut to Harvey. He wakes up and Batman's right there. He's like, Harvey. And he's like, Batman, the Joker was here. He beat the shit out of me. I don't know where Glenda is. And, he's like, she was fine. She was shopping for socks. And he's like, oh, shit, cool. Great. You got to stop him. He's going for the Rome. He's going for Carmine Falcone. Batman's like, I'm on it. We then cut to the apartment of one Carmine Falcone, actually the bedroom of one Carmine Falcone, and he gets the sense. He gets the sense there's someone in the room, Chad, and he goes to pull his gun off from under his pillow, but it's gone. And Joker's like, looking for this. You're not the first person to think that they found a gun now, did they? Oh, no, not found a gun. You're not the first person that's lost a gun tonight. And then he beats the shit out of Roman. Oh, Emily, good to see you, Emily. I hope you're doing very well today. And the Roman, he's been all tied up. He's in this chair. And the Roman's like, listen, if you're going to fucking kill me, then just do it. It's like, Joker's like, oh, hold on. Where's your showmanship? That's why Gotham needs a new face to crime. You're so boring, so to the point. Where's the fun in that? Let's take a look at your wardrobe, Romy. And he goes to the wardrobe. He's like, oh, black, dark navy, chalk. Oh, would it kill you to have a little color? And he's like, listen, Joker, I don't want to even. Roman's like, I don't even want to fucking deal with you. All right, just, you know what? Just shut the fuck up and just shoot me. Just kill me already. And Joker's like, how dare you? On Christmas Eve? Does this look like the face of a killer to you? And he looks in the mirror and he goes, ooh. Oh, yes, it does. Well, since you don't happen to know anything about this holiday killer, I suppose I'll let you live for now. But only because I want to, Roman. I can come in here and kill you anytime I want. But in the meantime, here is my card. And he licks it and he slaps on the Roman's face. And he's like, buongiorno. And he's like, boppity-boopy. And he's like, I love to speak the Italian. And he leaves, chat. And eventually, Joker goes to the elevator. He's just waiting at the elevator. He hits the fucking elevator at one point. Oh, yeah, that's the thing, too. And you know what? Joker, right before Joker was going to go visit Carmine Falcone, he said, I was going to stop at Sal Maroni's place, and also Carmine Falcone's. And so Batman didn't know which one he was going to first. So Batman then goes to Sal Maroni's club, where Sal Maroni is dumping all these dead bodies in the back of his vehicle. And Batman's like, "Did you kill that guy?" Sal's like, "Jesus, someone should put a goddamn bell on you." No, the fucking clown came in here and he poisoned all the gabagool, Batman. It was a mud, all the gabagool. He poisoned it all, and what happened when he poisoned the gabagool, chat? It was filled of Joker toxins, so all of Sal's men are dead, and he's loading them in the back of his truck. And he's like, well, Batman's like, well, if he's not here, then he must be at Carmine Falcone's. And he's like, Jesus Christ, you fucking freaks. You know, Gotham used to have some sense, okay? Things used to run smooth back then, okay? Everyone knew what their role was. And then you fucking come in here. We got all these freaks, all these monsters. We got zombies in the sewers. We got killer clowns. We got scarecrows scaring people to death. It's fucking chaos. It's because of you, Batman. All this is happening. Batman's like, no, it's not. Bat punch. And he punches Sal in the face, and he gets out of there. Also, I think he finds Joker's calling card. It's like, oh, God damn it. And so, but we then cut back to Joker's waiting by the elevator, and Carmine Falcone's bodyguard, the guy that's like, actually, knows his shit, and he's pretty good. He's like, oh, okay. He's like, he was taking a piss, and he missed all this, and he walks out, and he goes, is that the Joker? And the Joker's like, whoopsie, time to run. And, guy pulls out his gun, starts shooting at the Joker. Joker's running down the stairs, and Joker pulls out this, this big dick magnum and starts shooting at the guy. And they're like, exchanging gunfire, tit for tat. Eventually, Joker just yeets himself out a fucking window. He just drops. He's like, go! You actually hear him hit all the dumpsters, and he just laughs all the way down the sidewalk, chat. But then, good old Luigi, chat, the Carmine Falcone, he's like, I'm going to make sure that clown's dead. He goes down the sidewalk. He's looking for him. He's following the trail of cards. But then who is he confronted with, chat? The Holiday Killer with the gun, with the binky on it. Boom, boom, boom. And good old Luigi Mario is dead. And, of course, Bruce, Batman, late to the party yet again, rolls up. He's like, God damn it. And we see that there is now like a little snow globe and the gun right next to the body of Luigi Mario, Chad. It's like, this is the absolute worst thing to have happened. He's like, God damn it. We still don't know who the Holiday Killer is, though he has a suspicion. At this point, he has a big suspicion that it's definitely the Joker, Chad. Since he confronted Falcone, there was a murder that happened there. This has to be it. This has to be it. Eventually, after this, we then go to the Batcave, where Batman he's trying to whittle down the suspects. His first suspect is Joker at this point. His other suspect is the sister of Carmine Falcone, who was the mother of Fatty McTubbs. Maybe she's making a power play because she has control of all the crime families in Chicago, and maybe this is what she's been playing in the long run. He also suspects it might be Sal Maroni, but then Sal Maroni's tactics it's not the same as the Holiday Killer. He's killed Carmine Falcone's men in broad daylight. And the thing with Carmine Falcone's sister is that she's always been very loyal to Carmine. And Carmine Falcone, it's like there's no point to why would he kill some of his most loyal men? Why would he kill his most precious bodyguard and confidant, Luigi Mario? It's like, it doesn't make any sense. And however, it's like, you're missing one other suspect, Bruce, someone that you're not, and also like the Joker, but the Joker is so random. Why would the Joker be doing crimes in this style? And in secret, Joker is vain. He's a narcissist. So why would he be hiding his identity the whole time? And he seems to be investigating the Holiday Killer too. And then Alan's like, listen, Bruce, I'm no detective, but you're ignoring probably the number one suspect, which is, and they refuse to say who it is, but it's a person who has a history of mental health issues, a person who, allegedly tried to buy a gun, but was unable to because of their past mental health issues. And Bruce is like, Alfred, that's the last person I want to think. They're a friend. They're an ally in this war. I can't believe it would be them. It just can't be. It can't be them. And he's like, well, listen, I know you got to think about this, but you also have to maintain the facade of Bruce Wayne at this point, okay? You can't always be about Batman. So Miss Kyle, she's been calling these past several days. You got to go to that charity event by the Falcones. You and your father and your father and Carmine Falcone is a charity event for the children's hospitals across Gotham City. And it must also been a way for maybe Falcone to launder money, but that's my assumption. He's like, you should go there. He's like, I don't have time for this, Alfred. He's like, you need to do this, Bruce, okay? At least fucking donate money for the kids. For the kids. He's like, all right, fine, I'll go. And so Bruce Wayne, he goes to this big it's this party on this giant mega yacht on Carmine Falcone's huge fucking mega yacht. It's now New Year's Eve at this point, gonna ring in the new year in fucking style, baby. He's there, and then we see Bruce there, we see Selena Kyle doing really cool Catwoman stuff, where she's like tripping up like all these rich fat fucks and like taking their jewels, earrings, and like, watches and necklaces, and she's like helping them. It's like, oh, I'm sorry to meet Trippy. He's like, oh, thank you so much, dear. And he like steals her like belongings. He's like, no, thank you. Boop. I love the way Selena's played in this. Really, really cool. She's sassy, she's sensual, and she's super confident. She's a badass. Great job with Selena Kyle and this woman. Or excuse me, in this particular movie, I should say. But then Carmine Falcone, he gets up on stage, and he's like, hey, everybody, hey, just want to say it's an absolute pleasure to have you here. We got some familiar faces. We have the man, how you doing? You're looking great tonight, girl, looking great. He's like, oh, thank you. We have His Excellency, the Bishop of Gotham City. Oh, he's like, I love you, sir. He goes, thank you, Carmine. And he's like, yeah, we got some good people. Even got some, I don't know, other ones that, man, I'm not the biggest fan of. We got Sal Maroni over here. Where are you, Sal? And Sal's just sitting there looking at him like, you piece of shit. And he's like, Sal Maroni on my yacht. My father, he always said, keep your friends close, but keep your Sal Maronis all far distance away from you as possible. Am I right? Everyone's like, ha, 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 ha. He's the Godfather. Ha, ha, ha. Even Sal's like, this fucking asshole. And he's like, well, listen, everybody. Obviously we're doing this for the kids. I love the fucking kids. Nothing's more important than family to me, as you guys all know. And, let's try to raise even more money than we did last year. I think that'd be great. But before I go ahead and finish up, I want to take this moment to make someone feel appreciated. We've not always agreed. We have different methods in terms of how we conduct business and shit. But, he's a good man. He's a good man. And Alberto's behind Carmine Falcone. He's like, oh, he's talking about me, and he's going to give me my time to shine the light at this point. It's like, oh, wow, finally. And he's like, yeah, you know what? He's the son I never had, Bruce Wayne. And Bruce Wayne's like, oh, shit. And the light goes on. Alberto is just crushed by this. And he's like, oh. And he just leaves, Chad. Just leaves because he's so sad. And Bruce is like, fan. He doesn't even want to fucking hear it. Eventually, Bruce, he then goes out to the bow of the boat, or the front of the boat, doing the Titanic thing. And Selena follows him out there, and she's like, listen, Bruce, I just wanted to talk to you for a bit. He goes, sure, what do you want to talk about? She says, listen, what we've been doing here these last few months, I just feel like we're spinning our wheels. And, we have these two lives, and they're very different from each other. And what I'm doing, I need to concentrate on it. And I don't mean to be rude. I don't mean to do this to you right now. He just says, we're breaking up, right? And she goes, yeah. And he's like, no problem. I understand. And, she's like, but I got to get one last smooch from you. And good old smooch. And they happen, to spot what is it? What do they spot? Oh, mistletoe. They spot a mistletoe, chat. And she's like, oh, mistletoe. It's it's deadly if you eat it. And he's like, well, a kiss is deadlier if you meet it. Oh, you're Batman. You're Catwoman. No, actually, it is similar to that, though, when it's actually really fucking clever. Because they lean in for the kiss, and then she walks away. She's like, goodbye, Bruce. And he's like, hey, maybe this won't be the last time we see each other. And then Bruce is like, he's like, he turns around, and he notices on his wrist that his watch is gone. And he's like, when did you do it? And she's like, what? And he's like, when did you take my watch off? She's like, what are you talking about? He's like, there's few people that are able to do that to me. I can only think of one other one, Catwoman. And she's like, are you Batman? He goes, yeah, I'm Batman. She goes, oh, that's fucking cool. And they're like, well, you want to fuck? Hell yeah. And so they go and fuck in a broom closet, chat, because now they know who each other are at this point. Meanwhile, we cut to the mainland where all the fucking pores are, and we see that Harvey Dent and Glenda are arguing. Harvey's like really adamant. He's like, listen, Glenda, as soon as this whole thing of Carmen Falcone's done and the holiday killer is captured, we can finally work on having a family. Glenda's like, I don't want to have babies. You know I can't have them, Harvey, and I don't want to have them because I can't have them. And he's like, I mean, we could try other means. She goes, no. And then Jim Gordon and his wife show up and they go, hey, you two, how's marriage? And she's like, it's fucking awful. And he's like, she's having, stress the holidays. Am I right? And they're going, ooh, that's not good. And he's like, well, you guys want to go get some cocoa? She's like, no. She like runs away. He's like, okay. Not great. The marriage between Harvey and Glenda Dent is kind of disintegrating, chat. Hey, but then we cut, and we're like, ooh, because the Joker, he escaped. What's he doing? And we cut to this airfield, chat, where he's killed a whole bunch of fucking people. And he's doing that. Dun, 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 whatever these words are. He doesn't know the lyrics to, bringing in the new year, chat. And he's like, okay, what do we have here? Plane? Got it. Fuel? Yes. Deadly toxin gas? Check. We're going to have so much fun ringing in the new year. And he starts he has in this giant plane. He starts it up, and as soon as he's going down the runway, he's like, and I have no idea how to fly this thing. And he just goes in the air. And apparently, all these cops spot the Joker and are like, "That's probably not good." And they go ahead and they ring Harvey Dent and Commissioner Gordon, who also spot the Joker's plane. He's flying overhead. And then Jim Gordon's like, I gotta contact Batman. He's the only one that can stop the Joker. He's gonna kill all these people with the plane, he thinks. And so he contacts Batman, who just got done fucking Catwoman. And he's like, what is it, Jim? And he's like, it's the Joker. He has a plane. I think he's about to blanket the city in some of his deadly Joker talks. And Batman's like, shit. I'll be right back, Selena. He leaves, he changes in his Batman suit, and just when the Joker's about to blanket all of Gotham in the deadly Joker toxin, chat, Batman yeets himself to the plane, he grapple hooks onto it, chat, and he starts beating the shit out of the Joker, and he's like, he even confronts the Joker, he's like, why did you kill Fatty McTubbs? Why did you kill the Triads? Why did you kill Luigi Mario, Carmen Falcone's, bodyguard? He's like, what are you talking about? And he goes, well, you're the holiday killer, aren't you? He goes, no, you idiot. I'm trying to kill the holiday killer. And he's like, what? He's like, there's a chance that tonight that holiday will show up on New Year's Day. And so I figured he would be down here somewhere where the most important figures of Gotham are. Batman's like, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And he's like, but what if Holiday's not here? And Joker's like, I don't care. I'm still going to kill hundreds of innocent people. And Batman's like, I'm going to beat the shit out of you. Punch, punch, punch. And eventually they crash the fucking plane into Gotham Bay, where the toxin is, it doesn't affect anything in the water, chat. And, they arrest the Joker. But Batman realizes, because that's the thing, the Joker says something, and it's like, oh, bats. Oh, you don't know who the holiday killer is either, do you? Oh, what a puzzle. What a puzzle indeed. And Batman's like, puzzles. And he thinks of puzzles. Albert Falcone always doing crosswords. He must be the holiday killer. Him and his crosswords. And then we cut to Albert Falcone, who is looking like a sad fucking sack on the back of the boat, just looking out, drinking a hand, maybe a little too drunk. And Selena Kyle, she sees Albert, good Alberto, and she kind of feels sorry for him. She just got done fucking Batman, so she's making sure everything's tucked in. She goes, hey, how you doing? And he goes, oh, hi, I'm just really sad, feeling bad for myself. She goes, you want to talk about it? And he goes, oh, it's just my dad, he doesn't respect me, and because he's a crime boss. Ooh, big reveal, right? Everyone knows he's a fucking criminal. And the thing is, I'm sorry, what's your name? And she goes, my name is Selena Kyle. He goes, well, my name is Alberto Falcone. My dad's a fucking crime boss, and I hate him. I hate him. I hate the whole family. And, I was really happy. I was really, really happy when I went to Oxford, and I met people who thought the same as I did and also challenged me, but they didn't say I was a little piece of shit. And, you know, I met this girl and I loved her and we got married and she was pregnant. And then dad got involved and he's like, oh my God, what happened? What do you do? He scared her off, just scared her off. And, you know, I loved her. I loved her, but he was right. I couldn't save her. I was weak. Can I kiss you? She's like, what? No, we can't. No, I can't kiss you. He goes, sorry. I thought you were coming on to me and I just feel like I can tell you anything right now. She goes, oh, that's really sweet, honey. It's just, no, we actually can't kiss because, and right before it's about to happen, Batman shows up. He's like, stop kissing her. He's like, Batman. And it's like Bruce. And then Alberto's like, Batman, you're Bruce Wayne's Batman? And he's like, damn it, Selena, why did you say that? She's like, I'm sorry, it just came out. And he's like, and Batman's like, it's you, Alberto. You're the holiday killer. You've been murdering Fatty McTubbs and Luigi Mario and the Triads. It's you. And he's like, no. And he's like, no, I'm going to punch you. And he's like, no, you don't understand. Like, I don't care about my family. I don't care about my dads. That's not what it is. You think I care about taking over the business? The last thing I want to do is take over the business, okay? I'd rather be as far away from Gotham as possible. I'd rather be with my wife. I'd rather have a child. And right as soon as he says that, boom, 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 he gets shot. Hit in the fucking face, shot in the chest. He's like, oh, and he falls overboard, chat. And not only into the water, but he gets sucked into the propeller and he got shredded, chat. He gets turned into gabagool, chat. Turns into gabagool. And Batman's like, oh shit. And he looks up and there is the holiday killer, chat, who drops the gun and drops a little New Year's like ornament right there. Batman's like, damn it. And the holiday killer escapes, chat, as the entire yacht opens up into chaos. Oh, no. And then eventually, the yacht parks at Gotham Pier. Carmine Falcone's looking sad as fuck because he always said his son was a piece of shit. But it's, you know who's the real piece of shit? Carmine Falcone. And Jim Gordon arrives and Harvey Dent's there and Batman's there. And they're all like, wow, so it wasn't Alberto Falcone who was the murderer. You were wrong, Batman. He's like, I know, Jim. I know I was wrong. Well, if it's not him, who could it possibly be? This mystery, it delves even deeper into the secrets of Gotham City. And, Harvey's like, listen, we need to work with each other now more than ever to unearth this other face of Gotham. He's like, agreed, hands in, 1, 2, 3, Gotham City, yeah. And they freeze frame and they're like really happy, chat. But now they're going to work harder than ever to find out who the holiday killer is and to finally topple the Roman, chat, one Carmine Falcone. And that, my friends, is my scene breakdown to Batman and the Long Halloween Part 1. I hope you enjoyed it. Wasn't Alberto Falcone the holiday killer in the comic? Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. It's kind of, they leave ambiguous. There's definitely one person who is clearly the holiday killer. They really do kind of state for a fact in the novel, but Alberto might have been responsible for some of the murders. We don't really know. But yeah, in this one, they're definitely changing it up, chat. There's no question. But I hope you enjoyed my review for Batman and the Long Halloween Part 1, chat. I'll definitely be doing probably Part 2 next week. I'll probably be doing that like on Monday or something. So hold on to your butts, chat. We're going to have so much fun. It'll be good. Holman, man, that was fucking fantastic. Thank you, Holman. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. See, John, and this New York assassin has me die. I'm glad you like it. Witness me, the chat tag. Thank you so much for the very kind raid. I hope you're doing very well, Mr. Diaz. Thank you for that support. Just got done my review. Woo-wee, chat. Amazing. That was fun. How you doing, Mr. Diaz? Hope you're having a very nice day. Heart, hands, in D. One of the backbones of the D community. The God knows God. Good to have you here, my friend. Just got done with my review for Batman Long Halloween. Gonna take a quick break, chat. I'm am going to be playing some of that Ring, some of that Elden Ring. Melanie Nuzzle, the review. Thank you, Melanie. Thank you so much. It was fun. I like doing these Batman reviews, Chad. They're super cool. And in case anyone popped into the stream during my review, an absolute pleasure to have you. Sorry, I'm just doing some technical things. But I hope you're having a very nice evening, that is. Deadpool, I see you in there right now. Got some good people. Naya Brownie, thank you for being here. Hope you're doing very well. I wasn't ignoring you. Oh, my Lord. But yeah, I need a quick drink. I'm a thirsty boy. So please, in the meantime, chat, entertain yourselves amongst yourselves. I'm going to play a clip compilation for you guys right here.